What's going on, you ball of gorgeous? Welcome to Naked Healthy Subterranean Ultraviolet Rainforest. Today we're going to talk about something that is literally more addictive than cocaine. So I gave up sugar probably about 6 months ago, and I wanted to make sure before I made a video about that I could stay strong with it because I was pretty much addicted to it my entire life. They did a study where they put rats in a cage, and if they were by themselves, they would choose cocaine over sugar. But if they have other rats in the cage with them and other things to do, they will all choose the sugar over cocaine. Thus, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. Unless you're by yourself and you're miserable, then it's obviously going to be the cocaine. But in the arena of having other people, it's sugar. So considering I've given them both up, let's talk about how I actually gave up sugar, because everywhere. I mean, if you go to Best Buy to check out, also I would like to point out, yes, someone stole my clothes. They left me a beanie. We're working with that. Send help. If you go to Best Buy to buy a television, you have to walk through an aisle of Willy Wonka candy to get to the register. Why is that? If you go to any grocery store, you have to walk through literally pillars of candy. I'll stop making examples. You get it. Sugar is absolutely everywhere. Processed sugar. I'm not talking about honey, maple syrup, or any of that stuff. I'll talk about that in a second. But it's absolutely everywhere. I feel like sugar is probably the most accepted addiction that we have in this country. So let's talk about what the hell you need to do to start pulling yourself away from that. Because I'm sure that you've tried to give it up, some New Year's resolution or a birthday or a wedding, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna give up sugar, and you tried, and maybe you did it for a little while, and then you just absolutely broke and you binged the shit out of it, and you ate a whole thing of Ben & Jerry's and Sour Patch Kids and Oreos. I have absolutely been there. So personally, after I gave up alcohol, my very last addiction that was absolutely holding on to me like fucking piranha was sugar. I would wake up in the morning and I would have a whole bag of Tate's cookies on the floor next to my bed, and I literally felt like Nicolas Cage in that movie where he went to Las Vegas to drink himself to death, where he just woke up and was kicking bottles around. That's literally how I felt about sugar. I'm like, what kind of person am I? I feel like I have my shit together. I do my lemon water, my smoothies, I would exercise, do my juices and all this stuff, yet still, sugar had its hold on me. So on my birthday, on June 7th of this year, one of my clients gave me a tray full of cookies, and I'd already decided the night before I wasn't going to eat any more sugar. I said, fine, I'm going to have a couple of these cookies. What did I do? I woke up the next day, most of them were gone. I was like, we're done with sugar. We're done. So this is how I actually weaned my way out of doing it, because I tried to go cold turkey numerous times and it absolutely did not work. So what I decided was I'm going to do this in 3 steps, because like I said, guys, I've given up alcohol, I've given up cocaine, I've given up cigarettes, I've given up vaping, I've given up porn, I've given up a lot of stuff. The best way to do this, if you have tried to go cold turkey and you can't do it, sidestep it. So what I decided to do was, since I tried and I couldn't do it, I was like, we're going to wean this down. Step 1, give up ice cream. They did a survey where they asked people what their top dessert was. Over 80% of people said ice cream. I think it's due to the fact of it's cold, it's a different texture and a different feeling in our mouth rather than just like eating room temperature candy, and then it melts and you can slurp it, and there's just all sorts of stuff that's about ice cream that's different. So plus it's extra creamy and everything that goes into it. So step 1, give up ice cream. Got that done. I was like, you can still have chocolate, you can still have sugar, but just give up ice cream, okay? Step 2, give up chocolate. That was the motherfucker. Chocolate isn't everything. Still to this day, if I go to the grocery store and I want to buy a healthy protein bar, chocolate chips, oatmeal chocolate chip, coconut chocolate chip, almond chocolate chip, pecan chocolate chip. It's like there's very few flavors of anything that's sweet that doesn't have chocolate in it. You know why? What I discovered is that chocolate will spike me and my taste buds higher than anything else. So if I get like a lemon bar, like a lemon protein bar versus a double chocolate chip protein bar or a regular chocolate chip protein bar, as soon as I taste that chocolate, it's like zing, I get like this big serotonin and dopamine blast and all of this stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give up the chocolate and then I'm going to work my way on the sugar. And I went without chocolate for maybe 45 days. And I still allowed myself sugar. And I still allowed myself potato chips and stuff like that. But I told myself, no chocolate. And it is absolutely amazing. Here's the way this worked, and here's why I knew that this would work. your gut bacteria, you have 100 trillion gut bacteria in your digestive system. Those gut bacteria directly generate based on the food that you eat. And they compete for space in your digestive system like flowers and weeds in a garden bed. So I knew that by eliminating the chocolate and killing the bacteria that was telling me to eat the chocolate, it was going to be a lot easier for me to wean it out once those were gone. So I was like, let's get the chocolate bacteria craving mother effers out of here. Once those are gone, then we can start working on the sugar. So I was like, I'm going to do this as long as it takes until I'm not like just passing out craving chocolate at night. And I would say that I probably did that for 2 weeks before I started really like, oh my gosh, this is really going to work. Like, holy shit, this is actually finally really going to work. And then, like I said, I went about 45 days total. And then my next step was phase 3, where I said, okay, we are eliminating sugar. And again, this means processed sugar, but I still allowed myself potato chips, veggie straws, pizza, anything like that. I know that doesn't sound healthy. This was my way. And the reason, again, was because I was trying to shift my gut bacteria. I don't have a carbohydrate addiction. I had a sugar addiction. So I don't crave pizza and go out of my mind for pizza or for burgers or any of that stuff. It's only for sugar, chocolate, super sweet treats. So I knew that that was my problem. That's what I was focused on. It was wildly easy to complete phase 3 after I had already given up chocolate, because like I said, I've been obsessed with chocolate. It's been my favorite dessert, literally 30 plus years, right? So to get rid of that, the best way I can explain the self-pride that I had from giving up the sugar, from giving up the chocolate, was when I gave up alcohol. Because I tried to give up alcohol for so many years and I couldn't. And then finally I was just like, all right, I'm gonna try this a different way. I'll do a video on that later. And it worked. And I was like, holy shit. And then when I did this with the chocolate, it was wild. I noticed that I was urinating more, which I know that might sound weird, but when you ingest a lot of sugar, your body holds on to water. So what happens is a lot of the weight that you have on your body is not even body fat, it's water weight. So if you gave up sugar for 2 weeks, you would just pee and pee and pee and just flush all this stuff out, and the toxins would leave, and you'd thin and you'd reduce bloating and all sorts of stuff in just 2 weeks. So I wanted to get this just permanently gone out of my life, just done. So I went ahead and I completed phase 3. And again, I allowed myself snacks and chips and whatever I wanted, but no sugar was allowed. And I literally, it probably was 3 weeks after that I was completely in the clear, where I didn't even think about it. And the best way I can put that is, if you have ever given up alcohol or given up smoking cigarettes or vaping, you know that for like 30 days, there's still that itch to like, I kind of want to vape, I kind of want to smoke. There's just that hand to mouth thing. You have nicotine cravings. So that itch, that twitch of me wanting like sugar and needing sugar slowly dissipated. And the more that it dissipated, the more I knew I was winning. And the more I knew I had the upper hand. And I was like, I'm just going to choke you guys out. I don't even care. We are so doing this. Then I started doing vegetable juices. And I started doing extra stuff in my smoothies just to really flush out the bad bacteria and get the good bacteria in there. It is wild. Now, let's talk real quickly about the benefits that I have noticed after giving up sugar. First of all, my skin. I don't know if you can tell, I'm 42 years old. I'm pretty proud of how my skin looks. I have smile lines, but that's about it. My skin is just full of collagen. It's plump. I have never had Botox in my life. Nothing like that. It is literally just from eating clean food. There's biophotons that hit plants. They photosynthesize the light, and then we ingest that light when we eat the plants. I've been eating a shit ton of fruit and vegetables since I got sick with black mold 12 years ago. So I already knew just how to heal myself. So once I started like shifting my bacteria with cut the chocolate out, cut the sugar out, and then shift to like, okay, now you can have just like the fatty stuff, but like let's detox the rest of it. It was just smoothies and extra jogging. And my skin looked great. Spots started going away. I leaned up. I'm leaner now than I have been in a very long time. And another really freaking cool thing about this, fellas, if you are weightlifting, ladies, if you are weightlifting, here's how insulin works to get nutrients into your cells, right? So I didn't realize how much I was taking away from my muscle by eating all of this sugar. So here's what happens. Here's your baseline blood sugar, right? When you eat too much sugar, let's just say you have a soda or a milkshake, something that's really high in sugar, just put it in your head, right? It spikes you like this. You get an insulin response and then your blood sugar drops. What happens is as you develop an insulin resistance, you do that over time because most people, like, we have a sugar addiction, right? We're doing this over and over and over. The insulin is actually what drives the nutrients and the protein into your cells. So if you develop insulin resistance, that does not happen properly. You will not build muscle properly. So all these cheat days of just going super, super hardcore with like all this extra like processed sugar, it's really not as good for you as you think that it is. I would suggest doing like a burger and fries or something like that rather than do a whole bunch of sugar that's going to wreak a whole bunch of extra havoc on your body. So once I gave up sugar, I just like, my chest got bigger, my abs started popping out more, my butt got bigger, all this stuff. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I started researching it. The sugar literally rusts your cells, literally. So you have mitochondria inside your cells. You have 1,000 to 2,500 mitochondria in each one of your cells, depending on which organ in your body. The sugar is in there like just punching it and beating it up, right? So imagine like a sandblaster on a car. And then over the span of a month, what's going to happen to the paint on that car? It's going to rust, right? That's what the sugar is doing to your mitochondria. It's literally beating it up. Your mitochondria in your cells are literally what give you energy. They take food and oxygen and they create ATP. That is your body's energy. That is your energy source. Okay? If your mitochondria are getting their ass kicked by sugar, hence having their parts rusted, as I like to say, you are not going to have energy, have a clear head, be able to build muscle properly, have the energy or the mood to even go to the gym. So the more that you can work out, by the way, exercising actually helps create ATP. So if you don't have the energy and you think, well, I'm just going to wait till I have energy, eat a little bit cleaner, go to the gym, and over the span of the week, just kind of try to rinse and repeat, you will get more energy from that. It's like pushing a train out of the station. It takes a lot of energy to get it going, but once it's going, it's going. That's what you need to do, okay? So, again, let's go over this real quickly on how the hell I gave up sugar. Step one, I cut out chocolate. So maybe chocolate's not your big thing, but I just highly suggest just do that and just say, I'm just going to cut it out and just be aware of what you're doing and cut out chocolate as phase one, okay? Do that as long as it takes until you're not thinking about it. Only allow yourself other stuff. No chocolate ice cream, no chocolate anything. No anything. I didn't even do chocolate protein powder. The only chocolate I would suggest that you do is like cacao nibs or something like that, but super healthy, organic, but not even dark chocolate, okay? I understand it's healthy. I get that. I understand the benefits. There's resveratrol in it. There's antioxidants in it. We are trying to wean ourselves off of something. It doesn't make sense when you're weaning yourself off of something to give yourself that thing you're trying to wean yourself off. Okay, so we can get back to the dark chocolate once our shit is straight. So cut out chocolate, then cut out the sugar, and then start really trying to flush out your digestive system with extra fruits, extra vegetables. Start working out more. Go to the grocery store after you work out. Okay, when you're feeling all good, you got your endorphin highs, you've been at the gym for an hour and a half thinking about how fucking sexy you're going to be. That's when you go to the grocery store. You're not going to put shit in your grocery cart after you just went to the gym and got all hot and bothered, right? I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. So buy your healthy food after the gym. Go home, food prep your stuff, go to bed, wake up, do your lemon water, do your smoothies, make your healthy lunch, start to shift your gut bacteria, and you will be able to give up sugar permanently. But if you don't start shifting your gut bacteria, if you just try to quit, good luck. You know, when they put patients into rehab and they just go through withdrawal symptoms, that is what will happen. You will absolutely go through withdrawal symptoms. You're going to regardless, but you can minimize those withdrawal symptoms by shifting your gut bacteria. If you just go cold turkey on cigarettes, it's going to be really hard. But if you shift to like something with less nicotine in it, you can start to wean yourself down and train your brain a little bit as to, okay, this is what it's going to feel like to have less nicotine. So same thing with the sugar. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I love you. I appreciate you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please ask them. The more that we get comments on this, the more that I can grow this channel. All I care about is your health. Literally, that's all I care about. I just research shit all day long and I share it because I care about it. I've been sick, I've been an alcoholic, I've been fat, I had a double hernia, I've been slow, I've been all sorts of things. I know what it feels like and I'm empathic. So I want you guys to feel like I feel. Again, I'm 42 years old, I'm bouncing off the walls. I love to go to the gym. I hop up these stairs, chase my cat around the house. My little nephew, I'm bouncing around with him. Don't you guys want to feel good for your grandkids and your great-great-grandkids that you should be able to live long enough to see? You don't want to just be sitting in a recliner and be useless. That's, you know, here's Nana. She can't do anything, but, you know, she exists. I know you don't want that for yourself. I know you don't. Sugar will cause cancer faster than anything. That mitochondria ass kicking that I told you about, it is starving your body of oxygen. You know what disease needs? It needs a lack of oxygen to create disease. So now you have a lack of oxygen, cancer can form and all sorts of other diseases can form in this oxygen deprived environment. You don't want that. You need your mitochondria. It literally, at a cellular level, destroys these little things. So thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Mwah, mwah. Thank you.